All right, moving on now to number 8. This is I think it's tied for the worst ranked movie on this list as far as Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes go. Number 8, the laughable Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, making $65.6 million in the opening weekend.
TMNT. They're not
TMNT,
dynamite.
produced by
TMNT.
Michael Bay, starring that hot chick, who's really not that hot.
That anorexic chick. TMNT.
I think we all can admit to this one. We have not seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but what I've heard about it is it's not for adults. it's just crappy, but it's fun enough to bring children.
I've heard it's not even for kids.
You've heard it's that terrible?
I don't even know who the fuck it's for.
it's I don't know. I don't want to comment too much about it. The Metacritic score is 31, and the Rotten Tomato score is 19. Those are pretty abysmal scores, if you ask me. So
I have no bone to pick as far as the battles over Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles go. It was before the phenomenon was before my time, before our time really.
It was like the late 80s, wasn't it? I mean, it's not that much before our time.
Yeah, but no, I came of age when Pokemon was hitting the scene, so no, TMNT had no chance in my childhood.
Well, I had Thundercats, so I mean, TMNT wasn't that... Like, Thundercats was much older than TMNT.
I know, I was aware of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I was very quickly pulled into the anime scene as a kid.
Yeah.
And the Cartoon Network scene, which had nothing to do with TMNT. So, I don't have a bone to pick in this fight, but at the same time, I do feel bad because, it does have such devoted fans. Like Nostalgia Critic does so much stuff, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle related. So I get that it has a huge fan base, and that I imagine it must really, really suck. Like, imagine if people kept trying to make a series of live action Pokemon movies, I'd probably have the same reaction.
Or it's like if Michael Bay was made producer of Star Wars, I'd probably cry, and if that ever happened.
Yeah. There'd be 4 Death Stars in one movie.
And they'd all blow up at the end.
They would blow each other. It'd be like the 50th anniversary edition of Doctor Who. They'll somehow contrive to have them blow each other up.
Yeah, that was.
We just rewrote the laws of the entire universe we spent seasons creating. Yay!
I could talk ages about Doctor Who, but we won't
now. We'll hold on that.
We'll hold on that. Justin, anything on TMNT?
Honestly, I was never gonna see this, even if it did well, critically. So I have nothing.
Yeah, and that's
it
really
terrible though. I just remember thinking that when I saw the first trailer, I'm like, that looks awful, and apparently it was. But apparently not enough to deter people from seeing it. So.
And probably the reason is, as Noah said, it's got a large fan base. But I mean, I didn't think it was large enough to make $70 million in 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brand name. It's a brand name. It's like the fact that even with Abrams at the helm, which just sends all sorts of warning signs through my brain, the next Star Wars movie is going to make $1 billion.
Well, Abrams isn't bad, but he's not good either. He just makes decent films.
But that's the thing. Like, even if the initial critic releases were that the film was awful, Star Wars is going to make $1 billion because it is Star Wars.
I'll tell you what's another brand name.
It's a brand name.
Another brand name, Michael Bay. I mean, he makes movies that sell. I don't know why. Someone theorized because these movies are doing much better internationally now than they are domestically, so they're making simpler plots and more explosions, which translates so much easier. And that makes sense to me, but it's very sad at the same time.
Yeah, and also another claim by another online reviewer is that he simply literally owns every penis in America.
Not mine. I haven't seen his movie in like 5 years since the first Transformers.
Then you have
untainted penis.
The Michael Bay equivalent of an uncircumcised penis.
Okay, moving on to number 7. Speaking about uncircumcised penises, we have Maleficent.
I think you mean uncircumcised vaginas.
Number 7 is Maleficent.
We're not going to have that conversation. I've gotten in trouble for that before.
With $69.4 million in the first weekend, and it's actually third in terms of total gross. It's made $239.8 million in its total lifetime. So that's very good.
It's third for the year, really?
Yeah, third for the summer, not the year.
Oh, for the summer. Okay. Oh, cool.
It's pretty like average in terms of in terms of the review composites. It's around 50 score, so a 5 out of 10. But it did pretty well. What do you guys think of that?
Did either of you guys see it?
I did not. I can't say I'm like really excited to. I don't know. There's just something about it. Like when I first saw the trailer for it, I was like, the concept I thought was really interesting, and I have heard some reviewers since say that it goes to some pretty dark places. I just can't really get excited about it for some reason.
Well, no, Angelina Jolie, the shtick is that Maleficent is a fairy creature that happens to be like human-sized. And very, very early in the movie, Charlton Copley basically, he drugs her and saws off her wings, but it's treated like a date rape scene. And Angelina Jolie later said her baseline, her guideline for how her character reacts is the morning after a woman has woken up and realized she's been raped. So that sparked a lot of controversy, especially when Jolie confirmed, no, seriously, I was using rape as an inspiration for how my character treats this event in her life. And I have to say, having seen, I'll talk about my impressions of the film itself. I do get why a lot of critics and viewers were sort of like half and half over it, because it does have a very interesting concept, kind of spinning the Sleeping Beauty story on its head, to basically make Maleficent basically the good person, the good character in the whole story, and the king, being played by Charlton Copley. So Charlton Copley is amusing to watch in this, because he keeps Angelina Jolie's wings as a trophy, and he starts to go insane later. There are scenes where he just sits and talks with the wings.
Wow.
And his advisors come in and are like, "Sire, shh, can you not see we're having a conversation?" It's a hilarious performance. But actually, I think the movie is worth seeing just to see Angelina Jolie as Maleficent, because good God, she sells it.
Yeah, in the reviews I've read, that's pretty much what I've heard as well.
Yeah. She really has an incredible presence on screen. And so that aspect, I really enjoyed. Everything else, the setting, Sleeping Beauty herself is boring. My only real complaint with the film came with, it has a really bizarre, very actiony third act, which I didn't mind, but I imagine it would turn a lot of people off. But what really, the one thing about the movie that really bugged me, I was liking it all the way up towards the end, and they do, because you guys remember how there was this big thing about Frozen really, flipping tables with the whole idea of true love's kiss being the thing that will, save the day.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, Frozen, completely revolutionized this, and they've deconstructed it and and some people saying, oh, it's so feminist, oh, it's so anti-feminist, So that was a big deal in regards to Frozen. The movie does the exact same thing with, the prince coming in literally out of nowhere just for the purpose of kissing her, and is basically forced to kiss her by the small fairies, by the guardian fairies, and he's like, you don't think this is a little weird for me to be kissing a sleeping girl? No, just kiss her. It's like, it's such an awkwardly shoehorned in scene, and it's so odd. Of course, I don't know. I don't know what stage. I don't know what stage of production the film was when Frozen came out. So I don't know, but it feels like it's weird. It's just weird to have two Disney films right after each other that both try to sort of deconstruct the true love's kiss trope. And the first one, Frozen, doing it in a way that was kind of clever and interesting, and the second one doing it so ham-handedly, it really feels like someone walked in and said, "Wait, guys, Frozen is making us a ton of money. We have to have a true love's kiss deconstruction joke. We have to turn it on. We have to do that here too, because Frozen is making us so much money." It really feels like that, and that was the one part of the movie that just kind of like smacked me across the face. Is like, okay, this feels so artificial. But other than that, I really do recommend it. If nothing for the idea of the story and for Angelina Jolie's performance. So that's my take on the movie itself. And as to why it was successful, I mean, honestly, I think, the old, claim that just from a marketing standpoint, films with, action-y films featuring female characters for a female audience primarily can't make money. I mean, Hunger Games, Gravity, and Frozen were three of the top box office earners of last year. Maleficent, as you just said, was third for this summer. We have another Hunger Games movie coming this fall. That's going to be a huge box office success. So I think it's a part of a general trend of the old adage that, okay, movies, with female characters in them just can't reach a wide audience. That's being proven false.